Mr. Milton, the garden helper. Hi, sir. Hello, sir. Sunday, June 13th. It's about 6:30 in the morning. I'll do a quick garden tour. Out front, in the front yard, we've got these beefsteak tomatoes. They need pruned. We'll be doing that this morning. I have a zucchini. I'm trying to grow him vertically to see if that works, because they do get really big. In the bed is covered with ground fabric to control the weeds, but the kitties tried to get in there. So I put pokey sticks. Deters them for sure. Another beefsteak, and he looks reasonably pruned already. I'll go ahead and look at him anyway. Marigold, and this tiny puny pepper plant. I don't know if he'll start growing or not. And behind him is a basil. Picked a little bit of him yesterday. Put him in the dehydrator. All right, I've got this tomato pruned. If you go up a little bit so that the branches don't touch the ground, then the sickness from the soil won't get onto your plant. This tomato is a mystery tomato. When I planted seeds, the cat knocked them all down, and with it went my little signs. So I'm not sure what this guy is. So he's a mystery. More zucchini. There's another zucchini there with another couple puny pepper plants. Both of these zucchini are also going to be grown vertically in a tomato cage. Over here is a couple of spaghetti squash coming up really well. I'll have to train them to go to the backyard because they're going to get really long and almost invasive. Strawberries are still producing. Good for a couple snacks. There's not enough for jam. The cucumber bed, these really shot up overnight, like at least a couple inches. In the corners of this bed, we've got some sunflowers. And we put in a big trellis yesterday for him to climb. Right here is a yellow squash. Gonna grow in a tomato cage vertically. Little baby cucamelon at the end of the garden. I have two. This is the melon patch. 3 watermelon right there. 2 holes on the other side is cantaloupe, and then on the edge, on the outside of the little fencing here, I've got 6 kajaris in 3 holes. So I'll probably have to thin those down once they start getting a little bit bigger. And when I thin them, I'll just cut them at the base. I won't pull. Compost area, grass clippings. There's some pulled up broccoli that I pulled up yesterday out of their buckets. And as I ran completely out of room in my garden, I had to put these 2 Oxheart tomatoes just randomly out in the yard. I don't know how they're gonna do over here, but time will tell. It always does. The apple tree is doing okay. There are baby apples on here. I think this might be a Honeycrisp tree, I'm not even sure. So, but there are baby apples here. The new pear tree that was installed this year around Mother's Day. I think he'll do really great. He's big already. This is the other apple tree. This is actually a 4-in-1. Has Red Delicious, Jonathan's I think, Golden Delicious, and Granny Smith. There are baby apples loaded on this thing. There are every single year. It does great. Closer look, there's a baby apple right there. It's just a beautiful tree. Massive, unkept actually, but really nice. We love it. Here's the kale and spinach. It's about done. It's going to be pulled, and this tub will be used for something else. Around the green beans I have this little white picket fence, trying to keep the rabbits out, but not working out too well. So I need to put some chicken wire around my little white fence to keep Mr. and Mrs. Bunny out before they do some damage and eat all my green beans. Here in the kiddie pool we have onions growing just from onion sets that I got at the grocery store. I couldn't tell you how many are in there actually. 30 maybe. In the blue buckets here are onions that were starting to sprout in the refrigerator. So onions are a biannual, meaning that they won't put off seed until the second year. So I put these in the dirt. This would be their second year, and they're gonna produce seed. Right there at the tip, it's gonna flower and produce onion seed, which I will then harvest and use to regrow. Shower curtain rings holding up the tomato onto the trellis. Makes growing them pretty easy. On a tomato, when you see little suckers like this coming up from the armpit of the branches, you can take those off. You can leave them on, or you can take them off and root them, and they'll grow another tomato plant for you pretty quick. In the main garden here is where we have the majority of our tomatoes and peppers. There is 50 some odd in here. Lots with blooms. Having to support some with some sticks right now, and then eventually when they reach the fencing here, they will be hooked up to the fencing with shower hooks. Easy peasy, inexpensive, and it works great. So this is an Abe Lincoln tomato heirloom. I want to save some seeds, so you take these little bags and you put it over your blooms before they bloom, so that they're not cross-pollinated. There's so many varieties in this garden that that's how you have to do it if you want to save the true seed. It's shower hooked to a stick because it's not quite reaching the fence yet, but once those little flowers turn into baby tomatoes, then I'll take that off. And I have little bags on 3 plants, 2 Abe Lincolns and a yellow pear that I want to save the seeds from. And if you're concerned about your flowers not being pollinated at all, tomatoes are a perfect flower, so they have the male and female part, and you can just tap your plant and that'll help pollinate if you're concerned. And that's it. June 13th, 6:30 a.m.